Here we are talking to Nat Kibble. He was born in 1952, and we're going to ask him some questions about the impact of technology on his life. So, Nat, how has technology impacted your life?
The number one way technology has impacted my life is through my employment. I was first employed by AT&T in 1980, working on data and telephone circuits, which were all analog circuits. In a short period of time, the company migrated to digital, high-speed communications, and we stopped recording troubles on trouble tickets using pencils. We started using computers to track our work and went into the whole information age. So that's probably the number one technology impact on my life.
So do you think technology has mainly had a positive impact on your life, or can you see the negatives as well?
I definitely see the positive impact. However, because of the rapid transformation that technology had on a company like AT&T, it did impact a lot of people's life in a negative way, where they were needed a lower labor force, and several thousand people were laid off.
It's interesting. And lastly, can you show us some of the technology in your man room?
Certainly. Some older technology would be shown as in this device here. This is an old reel-to-reel tape deck. This would record music and record music in stereo with the two displays here, and then you could play it back. Of course, this is very old technology. It was soon to be replaced by something like the cassette deck, and then now you have, of course, the CD players, and I don't have a modern one, but modern ones you can burn CDs yourself and play them back here. So there's all that. And of course, here is the DVD player and a standard television as opposed to the more modern flat screen TV. So some of this is older or average technology.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Here we are talking to Deborah Kibble. She was born in 1955. So, Debbie, how has technology impacted your life?
Well, it's impacted my life in a positive way, by and large. I came up pretty simple, didn't have a lot of things in the house, and then I met my husband, Nat, and I went from having 2 dial phones in 1991 to having probably 10 phones installed all around the house. All call waiting, all the features. I had no computer of any kind. I think we have 5 in the house now. I have several televisions. I am loaded with technology. Do I enjoy it? Yes. Do I see a necessity for all of it? No. But it seems to be of great pleasure to my family, so that's fine.
Do you see drawbacks to having all of this technology?
Yes. It takes people away, and I've talked with my son about it. It takes people away from the opportunity to interact with people face to face. Yes, I see the pleasure of being able to talk with people from other parts of the world and other places just as easily as you would be talking to the person next door. However, I also see people's inability to socialize on a one-on-one, more intimate basis. I think some of the physicalness, the flesh and blood things seem to be lost behind the scope of all that information. So that would be my major drawback.
Do you think there's any way we can improve upon that drawback?
I think self-control, and I think it's people's desire to turn off the television, to not interrupt their meals by answering their cell phones or their phone calls, limiting the time that they use the computer. The computer can eat away your day. I had about a half hour to spare the other day, and I thought, oh, I'll check my email. That half hour was gone like that. A half hour I could have been doing any number of other things. Anything wrong with that? No. But I think it eats away at people's lives and it's wasted.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So now we're talking to Elam Daly. He was born in 1971. So Elam, how has technology impacted your life?
Well, I remember having to go get in my car and go to the bank to get funds, to go to the energy place to pay my bills, to do all the things, to live a daily life. I can do all that from my desk now, which I think is great. I can shop online, which I do quite a bit. So it's made my life easier in a lot of ways, and I could sit down and save time and do what I need to do without having to get out and about.
Great. And do you see technology as mainly having positive impacts or negative impacts as well?
I think it's overwhelmingly positive. But, I think one thing that happens is, and particularly as technology spreads, where, you can get cameras everywhere and people sending videos or pictures or news stories or whatever, you can get overwhelmed with all the information, information overload. So I think it's good to take it in doses and unplug, and not let it, in your life.
Do you feel that there are any ways we can improve the information overload?
Well, no, I think the choices are good. You can turn on a cable TV now and get 1,000 channels, and you can get them for every niche, right? You get cooking channels and home improvement channels and all this stuff you didn't have 10 or 15 years ago. So I think it's just a matter of, like I said, unplugging. Know your limits and be comfortable with knowing how much you can take. So.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now we're talking to Chris Kibble, Nat Kibble's son, born in 1987. So Chris, how do you feel technology has impacted your life?
Well, technology has impacted my life because when I was a young child, I remember only being able to go and connect to the internet on dial-up, which was very slow and it was a long process to connect to the internet. And once you were there, it took forever to download things and go from site to site. And now I'm able to connect on high-speed internet, and I'm able to download things in a matter of seconds, which used to take hours in the past.
So what else has technology allowed you to do?
It's allowed me to talk to friends that I've met from other countries all over the world on all different continents, from Europe to Australia and different parts of the United States.
And can you talk a little bit about your school?
Yes, I go to school at William D. Ford Career Technical Center, and I take classes that teach me about Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, and PowerPoint.
And what do you hope to do with all of that?
Well, I hope to get a job where I use all those programs plus other classes I've taken in the past, such as web design, and become a web designer and use the class I'm doing now to help just continue in that field.
So you mainly see technology as a positive influence, or do you see any negatives with it?
I see it as being positive because thanks to high-speed internet, and you're able to work from anywhere in the world, and you're no longer confined to just an office in a building.
Great. Thank you so much. He was born in 2002. How do you think technology has influenced his life?
Well, if it wasn't for technology, he might not be here today.
That's true. He did have
really
surgery.
wonderful care for him.
Good for
We're
him.
very thankful for that.
Oh, I
I
yeah.
mean, there are, the fact that they can do all these things for your aunt
Oh.
is wonderful.
And he wouldn't get to be on YouTube without technology either.
You gonna stick us on YouTube?
I am.
You're gonna